Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. This next guest we got on is actually a good friend of mine hopefully we're friends. I don't know, he still answers my phone, but anyway, he is a publicist, Wayne Public Relations. Barry Corbin, I know y'all know Barry Corbin. Don By, we've had him on several times. John Snyder, Quentin Aaron with The Blind Side. Ruta Lee had a big part of her book. Barry Rogers, good morning. How are you, brother?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, man, I'm so glad you finally decided to come on The Morning Dish.
Yeah, well, I just got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, what an honor to finally come on and be able to talk to both of your listeners.
Well, that's good. Yeah, thank you so much. I know they're excited.
Let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah, do it. Also, folks, something else you didn't know, this big logo that we got behind us, he was the one that spearheaded that and hooked us up with the people to do that and had a lot to do with that. We'd like to thank him for that.
Yeah, Katie Dugas, she did a heck of a job, and I think that looks awesome, what you guys have there.
Well, you've done good. Here's the thing, man. I mean, you are, and of course, we've got Steve over here, Steve Thompson. He wants to be somebody, but now you're in the, folks.
Well, wait a second. Wait a minute. By the way, this is Jim Richter. I'm an attorney, and I'm a recovered attorney because I quit. Yeah. But this fella here, Stephen Phillips, thinks that I'm his attorney. And he told me there's been some misrepresentations. He said we're having a magician on the show today because he thinks you're going to make him famous.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
ain't gonna work. But folks are asking, how do you get all these guests on your show? How do you get on your guests on your show? How do you do that? This is Barry Rogers, and this is how we do it. Barry, tell the folks what you do. I mean, you're connected with everybody. I mean, honestly.
Well, yeah, I always say that nobody succeeds alone in life, right? And that's 100 times more true when it comes to public relations or the event business. A publicist is only as good as his contacts and relationships. And I'm at the mercy of good people like yourself, Stephen, who take an interest in my clients and want to give us a platform and interview my people. So I'm very grateful to you and what you guys are doing there. You always take really good care of my people.
Well, now you've got started in it. You was actually in radio back years ago. I mean, you actually started in radio, right?
That is correct. Yeah, when I was 15. I walked into my first radio station. I thought you had to go to broadcast school or, get a degree and all of that stuff. But he was like, we need somebody on the weekends. You sound really good. Why don't we put you on the air? And it was a country station during the week, but we were a gospel station on the weekends. Small town radio. But I had the best time, and it kept me from having to bag groceries or flip hamburgers all through high school. In college, I got to go play music, and so I had a really good time doing that.
Well, now, when it comes to public relations, I know the headaches of trying to get people on different platforms and this, that, and other. How long have you been doing the Wayne's public relations? How long have you been in business doing this?
In various forms, I've been at this for 15 years, probably about 15 years now.
But I mean, the friends that you've made, and this is something I dread to bring up because these guys in here is going to go crazy. But actually, I'm thinking, am I saying it right? Chewbacca from Star Wars was actually a friend of yours.
Yeah, well, he and his wife, very nice people, and I had done an interview with him through his agent at the time, Zach McGinnis, and I had done a cover story. For a publication called The Senior Voice. And I thought it was going to be by phone. And the agent's like, well, why don't you come out to their house, which was right outside of Dallas at the time, and do the interview there in person. So I still remember, like it was yesterday, going out to their house for the first time and sitting on the front porch with Peter Mayhew while he drank a Dr. Pepper and smoked a cigarette. And I just sat there and interviewed him, and it was an incredible experience. Then after the interview, they were so pleased with how that went. He sent me this right here, this autographed photo. If you can see that, trying to get it.
Oh yeah, we got it.
And they asked me to come back. They had something behind the house called the Chewy Room. And so he said, the agent said, let's do some kind of live shot from the Chewy room. And I said, okay. And they let me bring two of my nephews to be a part of this whole thing. So my nephews, they're grown now. They got to hang out with Chewbacca and be on TV with Chewbacca during this live shot. And the Chewy room was where he kept all of his Star Wars stuff. So it was a pretty incredible experience. And I booked him a few times on various interviews after that. And so it was a short period of time that we worked together, but it was still very, very memorable.
That's awesome. Stephen, this is the other Steve. Stephen Phillips here was just asking about that to appease Packy and I. Yesterday, we had to clarify to Stephen who Chewbacca even was. So thank you for sharing that photograph and that story, because Packy and I are eating that up. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was an incredible time.
But now, over the years, you've like Barry Corbin, man. I mean, you were actually friends with Barry Corbin, and then his nephew, who is now on the what is this? His nephew, what is his name?
Yeah, so his grandson, Jordan Ross. He's on a show called The Chosen.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know Jordan over the years as I've worked with Barry and Jordan's mom, Shannon. But we book him on events, and he'll go in and he'll do a presentation on a lot of the challenges that he's overcome in his own life and career to now have this successful. I mean, The Chosen. The number of people who watch that show from around the world is just incredible. And they shoot it right outside of Dallas there. Mm-hmm. So, and then Jordan, he's been on a number of other projects that are seen by a lot of people. So they're good people, good family.
That's funny though. You're sitting here talking about these folks because you know them, and people watching people on TV, you think, oh, it's just something, but it's like, oh, they're just normal, everyday folks, and you hang out with them like Ruta Lee. I mean, my Lord of mercy, you actually had a big part in her book. You considered your beep kissed.
Can you say that?
I beeped it. We got a beep button.
Yeah, that started out years ago. She's a huge theatrical legend in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So years ago, we were going to do a documentary. So that name never came to fruition. But I had all of these interviews and these notes that she and I had prepared. So I said, well, why don't we just do a book instead? And she said, she's like, oh, honey, I don't know. And I said, well, I've never written one either, but it can't be rocket science. So I flew out to Los Angeles, met with her and her husband at her home. And she lives in this huge, it's like 4-story mansion in the hills that's filled with all of this, these Hollywood photos and stuff like that. And it's just like this huge Hollywood museum. And in that first weekend, we were able to start the book, and she committed to it, and I committed to it. And over 10 years later, the book was finally published. We had a lot of breaks in between, mm-hmm. and Alex Trebek, her good friend Alex Trebek, wrote the foreword to the book. Unfortunately, a lot of people that started off with us on our journey, they had passed by the time the book was published. Debbie Reynolds. She and Debbie Reynolds were great friends, but she had passed by the time the book came out. But it's an incredible book. I have to say so. I have to say so myself.
I mean, you've done a good job. There's no doubt. And, you've actually introduced me like Kent Perkins. I love him to death, and all these folks that you're involved with.
So you guys are buddies now, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love him. He's like one of my heroes, but
yeah.
That's pretty cool. But now, okay, now, these folks out here listening, and it's just go to Wayne's Public Relations. You can Google that. It'll bring it up. Go to Facebook on that. And you can actually, if you'd like to hire the man in charge that can get you somewhere. But how does this work? Like, okay, let's just say we got Steve Thompson here, and he's flying chickens around the world, and he wants to be a famous movie star.
It's an important
famous
job.
chicken flyer.
There you go.
Exactly.
Flying chickens around the world. What is that?
Well, chickens and produce and other livestock.
Okay.
He flies
exotic animals.
What's the name of the company you fly for?
Southern Hospitality International Transport. We go by our acronym usually, but that's okay. Anyhow, but that's who I fly for. But what's the rest of your question there, boss?
I just wondered, like, if these folks out here, I mean, there's a lot of people out here that's got some talent and they can't get out because they don't know where to go to or what. So what can you do and how does that work? If I, looks like that Steve, he's a famous or not a famous musician. He wants to be.
Not music. What
Or
musician?
actor. I'm sorry, famous actor, soon to be. How does that work? I mean, they contact you, and then what happens? Other than
yeah, well, we decide what it is they're trying to accomplish. I work with a lot of great musicians, a lot of actors, and then sometimes it's not always a fit, but then a lot of times it is. And then I call people up like yourself and I say, hey, what do you think we can do here? Can we book this person? And then we're off to the races.
Well, maybe he's the guy I should have called, Steve.
Hey, there you go. I got a guy. I got two guys right here for you right now. We fixing to sign you up.
Actually, I've done it all myself, and I've actually hired. My name is Jim Richter. I do smooth jazz, and I'm a one-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder.
I do have one song on Spotify that's got 1.6 million streams.
Wow.
And I've hired a PR firm from time to time to help me, and I've been on the charts. But so I do know how it works.
Well, there you go.
I'll probably look you up after this. Who knows? Maybe our paths will cross.
But
I can at least get you on the Stephen Phillips show.
There you go.
I've already done that without you, so you've just made yourself obsolete.
Hey,
okay, all right.
In all seriousness, there, Barry. You as far as what you do, I know that you also do stuff for it looks like corporations and basically the media for them and building up their image. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
Okay, so as it relates to our show right here, this is a conversation we have, and folks, we've talked about this. You've heard us mention this on the show before, but we want to really expand our audience, take the show to the next level. So as opposed to making any individual one of us famous or better well known, what our real goal here is to take Stephen Phillips in this morning dish up to that next level. So you need to work with us. Right now we've got the Facebook page. We've got YouTube live as we're doing the show here. It's on 2 different radio stations as we broadcast. You got to help us come up with some new next level ideas to expand and get Mr. Fedora here on the national stage.
Here's the issue.
Wait a second. Wait, no, Steve. What the problem is, what you've just described as these aspirational goals. You don't need a PR person for that. You need a magician.
Well, there you go. But we got Barry here. Barry is the magician.
Okay.
He's
right.
getting ready to brief us.
Here's the.
I think the term is miracle worker.
There you go.
And I don't know. I joke with Stephen all the time about both as listeners and this and that and the other. But the truth is, you guys have an incredible platform. I do watch and listen to what you guys are doing. I think Stephen is a rock star when it comes to his ability to communicate with people. And you guys all have good chemistry. I love being able to put people on your show. And I always get a phone call afterwards from the client telling me that they had a really good time.
Look at his head growing, man. His head's getting so big.
I'm about to get a new hat.
That's it.
Yeah. He's not used to me. Usually we're throwing insults back and forth at each other.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. Let's not go there.
Let's go there. No.
I talked to Barry about maybe doing some stuff for us, but there's an issue with this that the check did not clear. So.
Is that how it is?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the check did not clear.
Well, Stephen, he actually expects to get paid.
Yeah, that's the thing. But this is just, like I said, I guess we've been friends quite a while now since we started doing the interviews and this, that, and other.
Well, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
My timeline, the whole COVID thing threw my timeline off. What was 2 years ago? Seems like 10 years ago.
It was like, but there was a couple of months there where you blocked my number.
Yeah.
And then
he found a way around.
Yeah.
I forgot about Facebook and Facebook
Messenger and all that good stuff. But no, I ain't kidding you, folks. This is y'all go to Barry Rogers. No, go to Wayne's Public Relations. Now, why is it Wayne's Public Relations, but you're Barry Rogers?
Barry Rogers. So Wayne is my middle name. Wayne is my father's middle name. It was my grandfather's middle name. And so to pay tribute to my dad, my grandpa, I thought, well, Wayne's a pretty cool sounding name.
Right.
And so we went with that, Wayne Public Relations. WaynePR.com's the website, Wayne Public Relations on Instagram and Facebook.
But okay, we're talking about this, but now you are involved, and I'm going to expand on this a little bit. Not only in the public relate, but you are involved in so much stuff. You've got a concert series you're involved in. You do a lot of stuff with different people as far as booking events, and I mean this Quentin Aaron. I know you work a lot with him.
Yeah.
I mean, you never, every time I ever call you, no matter when it is, you always answer the phone. You're always working. I mean, do you ever take any time off?
Yeah, well, they say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, right? And I feel like I'm at most of my element when I'm on the phone, when I'm connecting people together, introducing you to someone else, hosting a conference call. I mean, I love what I do. So I take a lot of smaller breaks, but yeah, I'm pretty much always in motion. A lot like you are. You got a lot of spinning plates, a lot of things you're doing.
Yeah.
You're a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah. But now let me ask you another question. Have you ever had somebody call up and like, man, I want to be a star? And you're like, this is going to be impossible. Now exclude me. No names.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm always a big part of what I do. You got to be straightforward with people. You got to be honest. And for me to sell someone, you really have to be in alignment with them spiritually, energetically. It's got to be someone you're proud to represent. And if it's somebody that I can't get on the phone and lie when I'm trying to sell people, I truly have to believe in that person.
Right.
And so I don't take everyone on, and I am honest with people. I'll be like, I think you need to go back and record some more music, or maybe go in a different direction. But this is not something I can do. I'm always nice about it, but you should never just take somebody's money to take somebody's money. If it's not something you can't get behind and believe in yourself.
That's the thing, though. And I'm not just saying this because you're on there, but the folks that you send or we get hooked up with, I mean, they are just absolutely down to earth, like Bob Malden. I mean, I love that guy. I mean, he's the guy I interviewed.
Expedition Texas.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah. I mean, and he is a super nice guy. And
Bob has this show for your audience. He has this syndicated TV show that's all about going to historic places around the state of Texas, and they've been on the air for over 10 years. And we actually got Barry Corbin to do the intro for that,
right?
Which is huge.
But I'm just going like Will Van Winkle. We started interviewing him I don't know how long it's been, and
That's been a while.
It's been a while. And Barry has brought them from nowhere to. I mean, they are really absolutely. I mean, they're out there, they're working, and another one that I think is that we've become real good friends is like Jay Edwards. Jay Edwards, we've had him on before, and when he first started, Jay was just kind of playing and doing the best he can. And I mean, you have promoted their careers. It's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing that the work that you do to get these people where they're at. And I mean, it's like I said, if y'all are looking for a public relations, I highly recommend this guy right here, right now, because that, and after it's all said and done, like Jay Edwards, I mean, do you kind of like, okay, I've done this, I'm through, I'm going to somebody new?
No. Well, look, I mean, I was a fan of Jay Edwards before I even took him on as a client. I still remember I was at the back of a venue. We were at one of John Snyder's events, and Jay started singing. I was mid-conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden Jay starts singing, and I'm like, I stop and I'm like, who the heck is that? He's just got one of those really powerful old school whiskey voices, right?
Right.
And he's kind of they always say a combination between Bob Seger and Chris Stapleton. And man, he can sing and write. And, but no, there's always that next level. So even I've been working with Jay for over a year now, whatever level we are, there's always that next level to try to get them to. So as long as they're willing and time and finances permit, I mean, we just keep on going because there's always something else to make happen.
And I bring that up because, these are folks that started out with nothing. And you know, I give a lot of credit to Barry, Wayne's public relations, for bringing them up, because I mean, honestly, now, I mean, you're looking, he's all over the country. I mean, you got Aaron LaCombs. We had him on a day or two ago. He has got so much going on. And I mean, it's just amazing to me, the work that you do and where you get them to. Man, we have got to get to a break. I'd like to keep you on all day and get to talk about some more of the stuff that you do. But Barry, I know you hate getting in the public eye, but I do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, you finally talked me into it, and this has been a lot of fun. I really I appreciate it, and yeah, it is much easier waiting in the wings while your clients take center stage. But anyway, thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for all you've done for us, because you've helped me out a tremendous amount, and I promise I'll make that check good.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.